This is your daily market recap for Monday, July 11th, 2022. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for July 11th, Monday of July. Yeah, hopefully everyone had a great day. Again, I'd like to start off with a topic that I always discuss, and a lot of it is the one thing that is keeping traders from winning, how they're running this not like a business and more like a gambling mechanism where they tend to make repeated mistakes. Usually in trading, especially if you're not newer, it's one or two things that you're doing wrong constantly that keep you from excelling. It's typically one or two mistakes that put you back where you started. I love being able to help people with that. I think there's a ton of value in the Discord room. If you're not familiar, the link is in the description below. I guarantee there's a video on whatever mistake or weakness you have. And again, if you ever really need to get in touch with me, this is the best avenue to do it, or leave a comment in the YouTube channel and I will try to follow up at some point. Again, hopefully people had a great day. What did we say today, folks? We said this is Monday of OPEX. We took profits on some stuff Friday. We bought the TLT. What happened? Not surprised. Profit taking at the beginning of the week. Keep in mind, you have bank earnings later this week. Seasonally, it's bullish. But however, if you go look at the Stock Traders Almanac, the bullishness is not until later in the week. Again, I tell this to people all the time. If you do not have the Stock Traders Almanac, recommended reading, very simple. Boom. Click on this link and buy it. If you are not familiar with the seasonality of trading, you are missing out on a piece of the market. It's almost like pretending you're a farmer and you're planting crops in the winter. You're probably going to lose your crop. Now, again, there's ways, again, the almanac is not always correct, but the probabilities, we probability traders, we want to put the probabilities in our favor. Keeping it really simple, folks. So on that note, I appreciate everyone. Sorry I wasn't posting too much today, but I didn't really expect much. As I told you guys, I played the QQQ in the morning, got stopped out for a small loss. You could have bought the dip, and then I said probably you have to short the rip. And then what happened at the end of the day? We are where we are. I have not pulled through the charts, and so this is going to be more of a discovery for me as well, because I just got home and I'm recording this video because I know you guys want to see it. But let's see the market as we can today through probabilities, and let's just go from there. Bitcoin, said it a bazillion times, you need to get away from this 17 to 20,000 range. Longer it holds here, the more nervous I would get as a bull, and set your stops, because it could be forming an M pattern. I've told you folks many times, it's either this pattern where you hold a support range many times and then rip, or it's this pattern where you hold a support range, pop, and then flop. We don't know. We don't believe in certain. We don't assume that this is going higher or lower, because that's what people who lose money do. They make assumptions and then they don't ever alter their belief systems, because again, if it's going lower, it means it's going lower. Real simple. And if it's going higher, you trust it. I mean, it says Livermore said, you don't know until you bet, but you also know that when you make a bet, if the evidence doesn't provide you with the results that you want, you're wrong. And being wrong is how you lose. Now, again, I'm wrong, you're wrong, we're all going to be wrong. It's just, do you minimize your wrongness? Like, that's the key. I mean, it sounds so simple, but I guarantee 99% of the people listening to this cannot execute. They cannot admit to themselves, I am wrong, I am right. What do I need to do? Do I need to layer down? Do I need to leverage up? All these little things, like, those are usually the things that are the difference makers. It's being able to admit when you're wrong so that you lose a little. Knowing like a stock, our goal is to have higher highs and higher lows in our accounts, not straight line moves. No, not parabolic crap that isn't sustainable. Oil, we said we'd hold this like mid 90s level. I honestly thought it'd get a little lower. Bounce, chopping, not surprised. Talked about this a million times. It's a double top, but it ain't going to get there. It ain't going to the 60, 70 range in a straight line. I hope people realize that. I mean, it's always amazing to me when you talk to traders who believe in straight line moves all the time. They just, again, who is a student of trading when they realize how markets work. And when I say how markets work, how they take time to get there. That's why people who buy short dated options and never trade them or go all in and then stay leveraged into a trend don't realize at times, like, you don't know when the counter rally is going to come, and also you don't know if the trend's over, so you have to layer and layer out. And here's an example. If you wanted to short, you needed to take your money lower near the range, and if you're starting to layer back in, great. I'm probably going to be late to oil. at this point, because again, I think there's better upside in tech than shorting oil. I could be wrong. That's my opinion. Here's me trying to explain to you I can be wrong in this process. Twitter, if you're not familiar, I have a Twitter page. I am always posting my trades, what I'm thinking, what's going on, as well as to the Discord room. It's probably worth following if you're this far into the video. I promise there's good stuff in there. Let's get into it. The TLT. We bought this on Friday. Let's review that trade. Why? What did we talk about? Pulling up, pulling back, obviously. And here's an example. Nothing goes in a straight line. Up, down, up, down. Okay, what did we say about this 112 to like 113 area? It's probably being the right shoulder of a head and shoulders bottom. Because again, I think yields are actually going lower because inflation is peaking. Demand destruction is a real thing. Near term. Now, again, I'm not saying a year from now I have any clue what the rates are going to be. But this is a swing trade. Swing trade. Just like we set up here, you're probably going to fail. We did. People don't remember that. We literally nailed the top in bonds. So are we picking the bottom? We thought they were here. Right here, we were wrong. Waited. Here we are. Now, where do you... Now, what was a good tell on Friday? We talked about this if you're in the Discord room. You can see it really clearly on the 10-minute. Look at this close on Friday. A lot of tight action and big volume. That, to me, thought probably going higher. Now, currently, what you see looks like a little head and shoulders complex on the 10-minute. We'll see what happens. I'm predicting higher prices, but again, I could be wrong. Set your stops at your entry. If you got in the 112 range, please do not let this round trip on you and get back to 112 without taking some profit, because you could buy it back and then do it again. You never know how long things are going to take. That's the hardest part, in time. I can tell you with about 99% certainty when things are going to happen in certain ways. I just don't know when. It's like talking about gold. I think it's going to capitulate, then you can buy. I don't know when the capitulation is. I'm not going to sit here and try to promise that. Here with bonds, same thing. I think you're going higher. I've said at least the 120s channel high, maybe the 100-day. 112 to 122, 120. Again, how you trade, how aggressively can be pretty profitable. 10 points guaranteed. Everybody has their risk tolerance or their parameters. What did we say about the dollar? It's going higher. Everyone's like, oh, you're crazy. Here we go. Range highs, folks. We're not at the channel highs yet. I said I thought we could pause, look at the candles every day. I mean, there's really no fall through, but it is the dollar. Seems to have more mechanisms going overnight. I mean, I think, was it Sri Lanka, whatever, went out of business literally over the weekend. No wonder people bought dollars. I've told you this, I've said this a billion times, why also they probably are buying bonds. When debt destruction occurs, people are going for safety. They're going for the dollar. It's the currency to transact in a default. In bonds, you know, like, think about it. If you want to get paid pennies on the dollar for debt, you want it in dollars, not in Sri Lankan whatever pesos. Honestly, I don't remember what their corona or whatever. It doesn't matter. Dollar spiked. I think we're getting closer to the highs. If you have dollar exposure, please pare it down. The VIX, we've said the volatility is meant to be destroyed during OPEX. Look at today's action. It was a gap up and flat. Doesn't really say bullish, doesn't really say bearish. And as I've said a bazillion times, we're going back down to the range lows, channel lows, probably 18, 19 at worst. I'm glad it popped. I mean, we need some VIX. I mean, you don't want these straight line moves because you can rebuild and get bigger. You can go bigger with a SPY. So near term, again, maybe 27s. Then we start heading lower later in the week. If you go look at the Stock Traders Almanac, you'll see Wednesday and Thursday, big glaring bulls on them. Okay, big glaring bull days. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you just don't know, do you? SPY. Not surprised. We pulled back some. People are like, oh, it's the next start of the downturn. It's like, I don't know if it is or not, but maybe it's the 20-day. I mean, I think Wild Warrior talked about it. I'm like, I could see that. Maybe tomorrow. I didn't think it was today. I'll pull back to the 20, but look at the volume. There's not, I mean, this is just normal backfilling. Now, again, if it hits the 20-day, perfect. Great reference. I'm just assuming at this point, whatever happens tomorrow, I'll be watching for entries to go up in the market. Bottom line. What level will that be? We got to watch the action. Maybe it is a level. Maybe it is the 20-day. Maybe, I mean, look how it all lays out in the 380s. I mean, look at the support here. 381, 380. That's great. Boom. Booyakasha. Not a bad buy. If that ends up being the bottom, great. 20-day, same thing. Maybe that's what Wild Warrior's talking about specifically, was the 20-day here. Yeah. either way, look at the volumes today. They're nothing. They're not really telling you much of anything. Remember, this is the summer doldrums. They call it the summer chop doldrums. He stretched this across. Plays out exactly at the 20-day. Not surprised. Actually, let me open it up just a little bit. I'm trying to get you to there, but over here. There you go. That's what I'd be looking for. Like mid to higher 290s, right? Like, let me write that down. Did I say 290s? I meant 287 plus. Let's just say that. If that hits, I'm buying. And I'll set a stop. And if I'm wrong, I'm gone. Expect them, again, bullish seasonality-wise. Earnings is usually bullish. We know earnings consensus has to come down. But the market is already down, so is the consensus already priced in? That's the irony of this, is people get bearish and more bearish. It's like, oh, well, they got a guide down. The market priced that in, so you got to be 100% aware. It could be the sell the rumor, buy the news kind of thing. And it could rip back. And now, again, I still think it's a bear market. Don't get me wrong. But that doesn't not mean you will get, as we've talked about, look at this, the divergence, and then wham. Divergence, rip. I think it's coming. It's obviously it's gonna probably be in July. August and September are absolutely crappy, choppy months. I mean, go fishing all of August. Come fishing. We'll go do something. I mean, that's the potential. I'm gonna be focused a lot more on real estate in August. It just is what it is. IWM. What now? Oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. It's pulling back. No, come on. Look at the volume. Not surprised, little doji back to the 20-day, anywhere around, I would say, remember 170 from last week? Here's the go zone, here's the support zone now. Oh, come on, let me get that. Yeah, there we go. It's something in like that. It's somewhere in there. I don't know exact price. Now, this is what always frustrates people, is they laser in on exact price to make a decision. It's like, no, look at price action in a range. That, to me, was one of the biggest things that woke me up from slumber of what I would call idiocy of trading. Like, I thought exact prices and I had to watch price. It's like, no, watch the volume and the price action at a level. That in itself, you should pay $20 in Venmo right now to my channel, just because that piece alone might make you $200,000 of profit if you learn that. Because again, I think a lot of traders, again, you don't have to do that, I'm just joking, but a lot of traders don't understand that. Like, they're looking for exact price action. Like, here you go. Oh, I'm not going to buy this retest. Look at this long wick. I'm going to wait. I needed to get exactly 170, 184. Zip, goodbye. And it went what? 172 up to 192. 20 points. Oh, I can only buy the AWM if it comes back to 169, blah, blah, blah. Oops, and then it rips. I hope you see that, again, because that is a super valuable piece of trading that a lot of people don't understand. Like, they play exact prices. I'm sorry to go back in this and brag about this, but this is one of my best trades of the year. It was right here at the 200-day. We shorted the Qs. We didn't get the first high because we're like novice gap, might chop. Came back to the 200-day. Oh, but Dan, you didn't get in at 371. No, we got in at like 369, and it went up to 369.23 that day. So lucky. And then bam. But people were holding their bags, waiting for the train to take off only when it got to 371. That was one of my better trades of the year, and it literally was because what? That lesson of, hey, look for the price action, look for the levels, don't be perfect, don't be silly. Don't try to nail, like, again, you're bringing a ruler in a game that is not rational. Don't do that. You don't need an exact ruler. Just, you got to be in the area. As they say, you know, it's like horseshoes and hand grenades. Just, you got to be close. That's all you need to be. Same story with gold every day. Look at the volumes. They're just dead. Dead, 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 dead. I thought we'd get down here earlier. Nice little bounce. I say this every video. The best time to buy this in a bear market is when the bear market is closer to over and the first capitulation. We have not hit the first capitulation in the bear market. We're not there yet. So if you want to argue about it and go, oh, you're an idiot. No, buy physical gold and silver. Do not buy paper. Because I always worry that, what if the paper blows up overnight? What if the GLD, I don't know, gets down to like 130 out of nowhere and you get wiped out and you get margin called and everything seems like the end of the world? But that was actually the time to buy because you couldn't wait. Here's another Venmo me $20 information, because this is the shit that will literally take your head to the next level. And again, you don't have to. I'm just making jokes, like referencing like how important this is. Patience. Patience, patience, patience. Notice gold, double bottoms. Gold, double bottoms. tried to retest the highs, but it made a lower high. I mean, technically, maybe this is all an anomaly. Double bottom. Or double top. Where's the double bottom in gold? We don't know where the first bottom is. So why are we even trying this? I'm telling you, that is valuable information. If you study gold's patterns, it really likes to retest. And if it not, then what was it? It was a blowout. And again, blowout is relative to the size, right? Man, here's a double top. Remember, this is the straight line move. Of course, it can possibly V out with a lower high. Look at all these tests down here at the low in this 136. Are you seeing the pattern here? Again, I'm never asking anyone to do anything other than learn. That's what you need to learn here about gold, is it's not very easy, and it's going to double bottom. And to me, this isn't a blowout V bottom. Like come on, we've seen gold drop hundreds of dollars very quickly to V bottom. Zing. That's not a V. Let me go back into the PAAS machine. Choppy, sloppy bottom. Again, choppy, sloppy bottom. Choppy, sloppy bottom. Where's the last time? Even this choppy, sloppy bottom. Here you go. Here's more of a V. I mean, gold went from 124 down to 106. Again, $200 down in straight line. Get my point here? Even a double bottom bounce. Whatever. I'm not going to focus on it. Be safe. Be smart. Please don't chase this. Same thing with silver. Oh, it's into your buy zone, Dan. You should buy it. But then I look out on the monthly and I'm like, this could be purgatory. Again, coming out of like what I'd consider bear markets. I mean, think about COVID. I mean, it was temporarily a bear market. But here in 2008, then the slingshot up. We are not at the slingshot point, okay? Please donate to your own brain and take notes. Remember this kind of stuff. Like every day I get people going, oh, you're wrong about silver and gold. I'm like, the evidence, if we want to be unbiased, says I'm right. I've told you to wait, and I've said wait, and I've said wait, and I've said wait. And you just can't wait for that capitulation. Well, you're the idiot. I don't mean to mean demeaning, but that's like talking to a kid, and it's like, we're on a drive to Disneyland. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there? Why are you asking? Like, why are you assuming? Like, we'll get there when we get there. You'll know a capitulation when we get there. Okay? GDX, I mean, again, these miners make no sense at these prices, yet every day, buy on social media. Supposedly, people with 25,000 followers who love gold and silver like I do, posting buy every day. Who is the one person who loves it and says no? Me. No. Dead money. Let it die out or V out. We're not there yet, okay? We are absolutely not there. I'm going to run through these quickly because it's just repeating. Every day people are like, oh, I'm buying the GDX. Oh, I should buy the... I'm like, all right. I mean, you can. But, oh, it's due to bounce, Dan. Yes, I've said that. But do I really want to buy this bounce? When I shown you evidence constantly at retests, or the best time to buy it is in a wipeout. We're not wiping out. This is a slow burn. All right, AG, we'll roll these quick. Love these names. Put them on your watch list. I mean, it makes no sense. We talked about when you couldn't get over 1450. It's on the daily. Maybe you get down into the fives. Remember here, we were buying it down here. We're buying it here, and then it ran up. Nice. Now we got out, and we're like, nope, leave it alone. AEM, love this company. Leave it alone. Breaking support, no volume. Even the market makers like, there's no volume. Probably going down lower, 30s. NFGC, like this company long term. Going nowhere fast. It did actually have a little bit of volume. Maybe it does hold here. Maybe you get the first bottom. That wouldn't surprise me. But look at this. I mean, this is going to act as a tractor beam. This mid 3 level, it just seems logical. Pass on it. Said it a million times. Again, I think, folks, you don't know this stuff until you experience it. Now, again, I've had mentors that told me, do this, do that, and I just like, I don't really get what you're saying, but whatever. And then I learned, well, here's your learning example. People who are bullish metals have taken a bloodbath, and now they're down, and what are they going to do? They're going to hold. There's going to be other trading opportunities, and they're going to miss out. And then ultimately, they didn't realize they could get back into this stuff near whatever the low ends up being and made more money than just sit there and watch it melt. Like ice or sand, trying to grasp sand. I love that analogy. Well, like you're trying to grasp sand, and the harder you try to grasp it, even though it's not ready, it just melts on you, out of your hands, or like snow. Here you go. X. I mean, I think it's due to bounce, but there's really I'm not seeing anything that says, oh, Look at this. You see this bottom, had volume, bounced. See this bottom, no volume, I don't know. New core, same thing. Let's run through these commodities. I like these things due to bounce. Got a little better volume. It's stuck under the 20-day. It's got some dojis. If you own it, set your stops. This action is sloppy choppy. That's all I can really say to that. Now, a lot of people are like, that's not really an answer, Dan. What do you want me to tell you? I don't know. Sloppy choppy. Here you go. VALE. You're like, oh, you got to buy it at 13. It's like, all right. And then it came right back. I'm buying it down here, or I'm waiting. I'm just waiting. It's a bear market, folks. It's an absolute bear market. CCJ. Again, uranium has all the reasons to rise, but what we say? Left shoulder, right shoulder. Here's your head complex. Told you months ago. It's probably going to struggle up here in the low 30s. It's old support resistance, and it's a, you can see it, support resistance, and it's a fib. Pulls back. It's holding. You know, people are like, oh, you're missing out. You're going to get rich. This is uranium's the next future. Everyone's what? No one's going to argue that, but I just don't want to be early. Early is the penalty box. I don't go to the penalty box if I don't have to. Arrow. Love this name. Copper. People like copper. I like copper. I don't like it now. I do like the volume here for a bounce. It is incredibly beaten and at support. I don't know. I think there's just other names out there. Again, if there's deflation near term because of inflation has peaked, again, it's not rational, but money will go into deflationary things like tech. That's why we're there. Okay? I've said it a bazillion times. Mosaic, if you watch the video, again, if you're newer to the channel and you're not watching these recaps, I just feel like you're missing out on the thought process. Now, again, I'm not a billionaire, so of course you don't have to trust me like I am. That's fine. But if you're watching these recaps and you're in the Discord room and you're not understanding this stuff, I don't know what to say. I really don't. I'm trying to lay it out there very simply. It's process. I get it. You're not going to learn how to figure it out in one day. Mosaic, we got busted out of this and it's held tight. I don't know. I just don't know. I like this company. I think farming is going to get more expensive. I think they're for all these, was it fertilizer, nitrogen? Man, what are all the other things that you use for growing plants? Whatever. Tons of stuff that go into growing plants, and not growing plants, but this company has phosphates. It seems right, doesn't it? Like, stare at this and go, I should not buy this. No, you look at it and go, you should buy it. But then you look at the market, you go, why is it stuck on the bottom? It's a little confusing. So in that response, if you want to buy it, set a stop. If it doesn't go anywhere, you're going to be kind of annoyed. CF. Keep in mind why we like semiconductors. There's a catalyst, the semiconductor bill. It's coming. It is coming. We got Congress's drunk sailors. They spend money left and right. CF holding up a little better. You have a double bottom. Again, this volume is interesting because, again, that is not, that's a huge red flag. And it bounced. Red flag meaning anomaly. Here you go. Another one, too. And so maybe it's takeout target? Question mark in that comment? I don't know. Got to be thoughtful. Sorry, I'm sipping on coffee. Went to a brewery area. I'll show you the video of it. If you've never been to Fort Collins, I got a ton of breweries up there. Went to Odell's. AMD. If you sold it up at 79 for a trade in part of your core position, good work. If you did nothing, I mean, you're not surprised today when it pulled back. Volume isn't that huge. We've talked about this a bazillion times. Why is it bouncing here, Dan? Why should it bounce here? It's the support zone. You see it down here. Look at all the support. I think they got a downgrade today. I think all the semiconductors did. I mean, is it terrible? I don't know. Let's go look at the closing action. Just take a peek. Take a peeky peek. What do you want? Why are you messaging me? No, I'm just kidding. Opening bar, a bunch of dojis, pop, tight action, nothing crazy. Okay. Still bullish. SMH, as you know, we're in this. We're in this large. We're expecting a big bounce. I don't mind this pullback on nothing volume. High and tight. Look at the monthly. We've said this a bazillion times. You're at like the old upper channel bound. You see it there? You're under the 50% fib, which could have been just a bear trap. I'm not expecting moonshot. I'm not expecting 320. But I would not be surprised if you got up to 230, 240. And again, if you bought it with us in the 190s, 30 points plus, take that all day. And I'll take it up to 217. I'll be happy. 225, I'd be giddy. 240, I'll probably take off all of August. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, again, you are understanding this trade. It should not be confusing at all. The CHIPS Act, which is a congressional act to help build chip manufacturing in the United States more than it already is, take it from abroad. Again, is money in these companies' pockets, is perceived as good. Buy rumor, sell the news. Someone is buying the rumor. Congress, get your shares. Apple. People were trading this. Someone had some puts from long dated. I'm like, you got to be careful. Like, when you play long dated puts, because keep in mind, there's only a downside of 0. Long dated calls are a little safer inherently, right? Long dated puts, you got to trade them. I mean, once the thing, again, it depends if you got it out of the money. Say you had like the 150, 160 puts, like you got to take the money. You can't just sit here and go, oh, it's going lower all day, every day. No. Even though Apple is subject to decent pullbacks, long dated puts, if they're out of the money or at the money, like these bounces are absolute murder. We'll see what happens. Again, I think it can go higher. Broke over the 50-day. I mean, is this an anomaly? We'll see. Again, I expect the market to go higher. Tech, Meta, big downgrade today, underperform, price target of 0, whatever it was. I didn't really pay that much attention to the downgrade. I mean, we took profits on Friday. I actually closed out a lot of it because I bought TLT. Lucky. Whatever I had left, not that important to me as much as the TLT. I mean, what have we said? It's probably going higher. It's got a lot of shitty news out there and everybody's bearish. I mean, whatever. Pull back on a downgrade today. Again, this is why you layer in, you layer out. You never know when something like this is coming. Let's look at the end of the day because I'm always curious to see the last 10-minute bar. Okay, note to self, buy Meta. That is absolute either short covering or buying. Look at that. Ooh. Double bottom? Question mark? Damn. Okay. Remember, I'm doing this on the fly. Taking notes. There we go. Meta. That is on the buy watch list because that is interesting right there. Look at that. Right at the close, tight action. Somebody was buying. We'll see. Keep an eye on it, right? What else is next? I keep messing up these orders sometimes. Meta. Roblox. Roblox. What did we say? Sold some covered calls, took a little profit. Oh, it pulled back today. Said I thought 70, 37, 38 range. I get why, because it's the 8 and the 10 day, the trading. Like those are like day traders or short-term traders. Like once that breaks, they're out kind of thing. Not surprised. Sold some covered calls. They're going to go obviously worth 0. Sold the 45s for this week. They're down to 18 cents. Sold them at $1. Ooh. Take the dollar, even though the stock's down $3 today. Whatever, it's money in the pocket. We'll look to buy calls on this tomorrow. I mean, I'd probably buy, again, how long dated? The question is, how long do you think you're going to be in it? I mean, if I'm going to be in it for like a week, 10 days, I'll probably buy end of July. That's all. Again, because I think if you notice, this thing can move 24 up to 37, 13 points in 5 days. That's the kind of shit I'm expecting because this thing is heavily shorted with prospects of something. Clearly, there's good news coming on. We'll see. I mean, it might get bought out. Tesla, I mean, today's news, I mean, whatever. Twitter, whatever. Not surprised it bounced and flopped. Honestly, I'm a little surprised it flopped a little more, but what have we said? It's a W and it's choppy, sloppy. I mean, these stocks have to be managed. This isn't just smooth sailing. This isn't this yet. Got to manage them. Anyway, I'm not really a trading Tesla. I don't really care. But if you are, you got to be aware of all these headlines. That's what I don't like is negative headline potential. Again, at this point, semiconductors, the upside is great because the stock is already down huge, SMH, and the upside is this headline. To me, Tesla, if you look at this thing on the monthly, you don't think this thing has a lot more potential problems because of the way it was valued. Now people are starting to realize like, wow, they don't really make a ton of money and it's valued at a ton of money. It's a problem. The EXPI. Talked about buying this in 11 and 12s. Lucky guess. I guess not, but again, fundamentals don't matter. We are murdering it. It was at a mastermind with EXP agents today talking about how they're dominating the local markets. Yada, yada, yada. Doesn't matter. 90s down to 12, 11. Watch the 50-day now. If you're long, it's just got to stay above it, because this is what's kind of nice is that look at all the support right here. This needs to hold. I mean, just draw whatever, a little dot. Say just hold here. Hold, it's good. Not UTHR. You're welcome. We give out winners. Winner, 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 chicken dinner. We've said this was a double bottom. Here you go, is another double bottom, ended up being trend. Now we said it'd sell it as it rose. We'd come back and test. We did. Now you're making higher highs. Please be aware of the monthly up channel. I'm not saying that has to hold perfectly, because it could get bought out and it doesn't matter. But if you are holding it as a trade, swing trade, if you get to 245 plus, please take 90% of your money, let the rest ride, or trade it in for naked, long-dated calls. Say you're worried about upside, we'll limit your risk to, say, whatever, $8 a share, whatever options you want to play, $5 a share, I don't know. But please, pare down risk. Absolutely pare down risk. And you're probably going to lose. I mean, honestly, I just take my money, I walk away and say there's always another trade, but the average trader just can never do that. They're like, oh, I got to get that next $5. Risking $5 to, lose 30 or 40. It's like, don't do it. But people have to, and whatever. That's the best strategy I would take for it. Layer down and see what happens. USO. Apologize it went around today. Could this possibly the retest? We'll see. Again, I don't see oil getting much higher from here. Maybe 80. Fill this gap. And again, gaps on this ETF don't really matter to me. Keep in mind, oil futures trade pretty regularly. hint, hint, hint. Hint, hint. So again, these gaps are superficial because they're US hours only. Yeah, I mean, I think you can start rolling back into shorts. I expect this oil to come down. XOP, I mean, again, if the drillers are showing any signals of bullishness, which is crazy, they have 0, then maybe oil is going lower. I mean, that's, again, at this point, just remember, shorting here has to be very tight leashed. If you're buying the drip, very tight leash, because the odds are a strap back, rip up. I don't want to say derogatory things. Slam you in the you-know-what, ba-boom. Up your you-know-what can happen if you're wrong. ExxonMobil talked about just getting down here. It's gotten sloppy and choppy. I really don't know. People will say, what are you going to do, Dan? It's like, I don't know. I don't want to get caught in this. I think there's just better ideas. If ExxonMobil rips, great, I'll short it. If it flops, even better. I just don't care. I think I'm going to wrap it up. These oil names are getting so boring. Let's get UNG, UNG, nat gas. I mean, we talked about it getting back down to levels of support. And again, I don't really like to chart these, but you can tell, like, this is just too much too fast. It bounced. Look where it bounced to. It's bouncing up to the 20-day. Natural gas is the crazy sister of oil. She's nice to stare at, very pretty, can be very enticing, but she will break your heart. She means well, but that's what happens. If you got any questions, again, stop by the Discord room. I'm also going to start posting this. One of my mentors was telling me today, he was like, hey, if you have any real estate questions, please, I'm going to drop my website. It's going to be flashing across the bottom here. If you have any questions about real estate, comments, leave a comment below. I'll try to reach out to you, or stop by the website. Again, I think people don't realize that ultimately this is a paper game to buy real assets. Your goal is to make money in the market and buy real estate and real assets. However you want to diversify, that's your call. But if you need help investing in real estate, I can be your agent, and not agent nationally, so I can do every part of the transaction. But I can be a referral agent, where I will collect a small fee and be involved in the transaction, which, if I could do this transaction in reverse, I would do all day, because I would love if someone like myself could help me maybe babysit and understand what's going on in my local market, and also having a perspective on this that's not just local to the area. He understands investing, he understands real estate. So that little stuff can matter, because again, 2 agents is better than 1, and overseeing help with the other agent, helping you try to figure out how to rent the property, how to run the ROIs, just in general, how to invest in real estate. That's the small fee that I feel like is worth it for a referral. Because again, if you're not familiar with how it works, is that if you came to me and you said, hey, I'd like you to find me an agent's going to pay me a small percentage of his commission to refer him. Because again, agents will take any deal, or not any deal. Taking a commission on a deal is better than no commission on no deal. See how that works? Hope that makes sense. And again, I love helping people with this stuff. It's, to me, just as passionate as about stocks, because true wealth is built through passive income. One of the best passive income and inflation hedging products out there is always going to be real estate. This isn't 2008 and 2009. Again, I'm just going to rant on real estate for a minute. You can go if you need to. Again, think about inflation. Rent, if people aren't buying, rents go up. And if people are buying, rents still go up. So again, and you have to remember, this is a shortage. This is not a housing bubble, because you cannot have a bubble with a low amount of supply. It's the same thing as oil. I'm not saying there's an oil bubble. I've never said that. I just think at some point demand destruction. And the same thing will probably happen with real estate near term. But if there's a shortage of oil, what happens in the long term? Oil should go higher. Well, there's shortages in housing everywhere that is important. Now, again, if you're trying to buy property in New Jersey, New York, certain parts of California, certain parts of the Midwest, I don't know about their long-term demographics. I probably wouldn't invest in them. But if you live in a state with long-term strong demographics, people want to move there, you better expect inflation to help double, triple real estate prices. They did in the 70s and 80s. I think we're in that same type of market. Again, I won't rant on real estate too much longer. I'd love to help you out if you have questions. Because again, if you're making money in trading, that's what I do. I put my money into more real estate. And that's why I got my license. That's why I've been involved in it for 20 years. Like, to me, it is by far the safest long-term investment. Now, again, if you want to play it through Airbnbs, single family housing, kind of, long-term rentals, there's many perspectives to do it. I personally, Airbnbs, you got to be careful where you're at. Single family housing in good areas typically does well. Why? People move to an area, they want to rent first. If you have an area that is long-term demographics, those rents continue to go higher. They're very safe. Typically, people who rent before they move into a place, if that's the price points you're looking at, they're not going to damage a house, right? If you're now slumlording, I can't really help you there. I always struggle with that because, again, personally, I think you play in the low end of the game, you should expect low end returns. Now, slumlording makes good margins, but the upside's not hard. Great. Like, imagine buying a $100,000 house that goes up to $150,000 in 10 years. And someone like, oh, that's great. And it's like, well, no, you could have bought the same nice house for 500 grand. It's worth 800 grand. Well, you made 50 grand and 50%, or what did you make? You make 60%, or sorry, you make a lower percent in what? You made 300,000. Again, numbers are all relative. All right, on that note, I'll wrap it up. Won't rant anymore about real estate. I do love it. Again, sorry I wasn't around. That was what I was dealing today. We have a new client potentially from Fort Collins who wants to buy a place. He saw our advertising, how well we did with our listing up there, making 26% over the most recent comps and blowing out the market, even in this market. So that's what we do. All right, talk to you guys and gals later. See you tomorrow. Again, be on the lookout for buys. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.